if you're like me, then every game you play, you need to get into all the boxes, past all the doors, unlock all the safes, and get all of the goodies that there are to get. And lockpicking in Starfield is honestly, it's no different than it is in a lot of other games, in that there is a little bit of a mini game that you have to learn to get good at before you can actually get into the safes. And of course, there are varying levels of difficulty from novice up to master levels, and you do have to have the corresponding skill to get into the safes. But it's also the mini game that we're going to be focused on today in this guide to help you understand how to do lockpicking in Starfield so that you can get all the extra goodies that are out there, whether it's credits, extra ammo, cool little mods for your weapons, and maybe even the occasional weapon as well. So without further ado, we're going to get diving in. But before we do, don't forget, if you're new here, to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Don't forget, we do daily streams at 11 a.m. Central. There's a lot of other stuff we do on the channel, so check out all the playlists. Join the Discord. Links are down there. Let's get into the guide, everybody. So the first thing you have to do, of course, is find an appropriate lock, or safe in this case. And we have a safe sitting in front of us. And if you notice under the safe, it says unlock, and then it has in parentheses the word novice. And that is important to understand because everybody, regardless of your skill, can actually hack into novice level lock. So if we go in here, I'm still very early on in the game, and if we check out my skills, I do not have any security ranks. So security ranks allow you to hack into advanced locks and give you some additional auto attempts that you can save up. Rank 1 gives you advanced locks, rank 2 gives you expert locks, 3 auto attempts, and rings can turn blue now when the pick can be slotted. Rank 3 gives you access to master level locks with 4 auto attempts bankable, and rank 4 allows you to expend a digipick to eliminate keys that aren't required to solve the puzzle, and you get 5 auto attempts that can be banked. So if you're really wanting to sneak into all the things, you're going to want to get as many ranks and security as possible, because this is what's going to allow you to access higher and higher levels of locks as you get through. So if we want to, we can actually go ahead and put a point in this because we have a skill point available, just so you can see what this looks like. We now have unlocked a challenge to level up towards rank 2, and in this case, I need to be able to pick 5 locks to get to the next stage. So we're going to, without further ado, we're going to dive into this here. Now, one of the things I would recommend that everybody do before you get going is to quick save the game before you attempt to do one of these things, because in order to pick a lock, you need to have a digipick on your character, and every single time you make an attempt, you're going to burn at least 1 digipick. So if you want to make sure that you don't accidentally make any mistakes, this is a great point to just quick save, and then if you fail, you can very quickly load the game and go right back to it so that you can figure it out and not waste digipicks. But let's just dive into this and see what it looks like when we actually go to unlock. So there's the digipick, is essentially what I'm holding in my hand, and this is what leads us to the minigame component of this. Now in this case, we're a novice lock, and you'll notice that we have 2 layers of security here. And each layer of security is represented by a ring, and that ring has slots within it. And I've got 4 digipicks available. Now, I don't have any auto slots at the moment, so I can only do this manually for the moment. Now, essentially what I want to do here is I want to pick the appropriate digipick here and then circle it around and find out where the slots might fit in. However, with there being 2 different types of slots here, it is a puzzle to figure out which ones go where. So in this case, I'm going to say those 2 look like they go there. Do these go anywhere? Probably not. What about these? Well, I only need another one that looks just like the first one, so this one is probably a safe bet to go right here. And if in doubt, what you can do is you can switch back to the other digipick and see that, okay, both of these align where they need to. So let's go ahead and hit the A button and slot that key in. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and go back over to this one. We're going to slot that one in, and what it's going to do is it's going to eliminate the first line of defense. Okay, now that used one of my digipicks. Now this one looks a little more complex because we only have these 2 layers left here, or these 2 available key slots that we can use. So we kind of have to figure out where we think these might work. So that looks like it's going to align right there, but what about this one? So if that's those 2 on the bottom right and the top left, this means I need to spin this one around to here. Now remember, you can always choose to go back and forth to make sure that you've got these perfectly aligned before you attempt to slot the key so that you don't accidentally waste any of your digipicks. It's also worth knowing that if you attempt to undo anything that you've done here, you will of course also burn up a digipick, and digipicks are a finite resource, so make sure you take your time on these, double check everything, make sure they slot perfectly, then go ahead and click, and then boom, we have opened up this particular safe, and we're going to get some ammo, a med pack. Quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to all of these amazing people who are the guild champions at the highest tiered membership here on our channel, and of course all of the members who help keep me full-time and doing this for your enjoyment. If you would also like to become a member, you get access to tons of special stuff like live stream, member-only chat, private videos for our members several times a week. It's really simple. Just pick your tier, go from there. You can also do super chats or super thanks on any stream, YouTube short, or video that you see. Don't forget the Discord. Links are down below. Let's get back to the video. And a new weapon, a Spaced Adept Kraken, which looks really, really cool. Now, worth noting here is that the locks themselves are random. So when you reload, you are going to get a different version of those circles, a different version of the mini game. So this is one of the reasons why when you're saving, bear that in mind, because it's going to be slightly different every time you go. And of course, as the locks get more advanced, the more complicated those become to unlock. But having access to, as they show you here, we're still fairly early on in the game here yet, so we haven't gotten access to these for this particular guide, which is why this is the beginner's guide to it. But you'll notice here that it mentions that you can attempt to hack advanced locks, and you get 2 auto attempts which can be banked. Now, I don't have any auto attempts for that particular attempt, so I had to do everything manually. But if you have an auto attempt banked up, you could just choose to automatically use your digipicks and automatically unlock that without actually doing anything manual. And of course, as you get going, you get more auto attempts that can be banked. And of course, this one here, rank 2, rings can turn blue when the pick can be slotted. So that, instead of needing to manually do what we just did and figure out where each key goes, it's going to turn the ring blue when that pick can be inserted in the right place, which means it takes the guessing game out of the equation, and you don't have to go back and forth between all of the various picks trying to figure out which one goes where. Now that's obviously the simple version, which is why this is the beginner's guide to picking locks in Starfield, and things get much more advanced as you get deeper into the game and get into the advanced and master tier and expert tier locks. So if you want to check all that stuff out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because we are doing more advanced guides just like we do with every other game. Don't forget daily streams at 11 a.m. Central here on the channel. There is a Discord, check it out down below, and check out all the other playlists so you can watch us play Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, do the film reviews, TV shows, and everything else we do. Till next time, everybody, stay safe. Happy gaming out there.